As you know, we are in a saga. A ban saga. This has been raging on since Friday. And will it continue on? We'll have to see. It has been just so strange, weird, confusing, and I'll go with the word confusing because it is very much that. From Friday, look, I went with positivity until I learned, and the same thing with everyone else, kind of went, okay, Kabam are dealing with 10,000 potential cheaters that they have punished. And unfortunately, it was never clear cut. And you only learn this after people start saying, I've been banned, but I've been incorrectly banned. And then the story develops. It continues. It goes into different directions. It is in some sort of a way a multiverse of potential problems. I have seen in the last, I'd say 48 hours to 72 hours, conspiracy theories around Kabam are targeting specific accounts because of who they are, maybe the country of origin, the fact that maybe some accounts do YouTube, loads of different things. I think people are giving Kabam too much credit. They're thinking that they're more smarter than they are. And if you think that Kabam are targeting these particular people, or, there's conspiracy theory, because everybody nowadays, it's always a conspiracy theory. Everyone thinks that this is going on with this person, but in fact it's not. Remember, if Kabam were that smart and intelligent, then they'd be able to fix all the bugs in game. We wouldn't be seeing things like this, or this, or that, or even this. Some people are giving Kabam too much credit for going, oh, they're targeting these people because they know, Kabam know they're doing it, and this is the reason why, because they do this and this. Well, we'd have everything fixed in game if Kabam were able to do that stuff on that particular level. Even for a time, people were saying that they were targeting free-to-play players, which, look, don't get too wound up with conspiracies and wait until Kabam have actually said stuff. And now we're hopefully coming to an end point of this particular saga. And that is that, then there is the very real kind of possibility that people are still worried about how they interact with the game if they use stuff like a VPN accelerator to log in to play the game. And that's a tough one, because whether or not the VPN accelerator is a VPN in itself, or it's something that sits over the top of it, like a running application at the time, it could be considered as a third-party app, the way that, say, Kabam's system is scanned. There's so many things to this. There's so many moving parts, and there's so many different just splinters of timelines and, well, not timelines, but what could be causing the issue for people's bans, as there's different applications that could cause or be seen as potential infractions. And that's scary. That's really scary for the future of the game, with anybody using anything that might be either a VPN, a helpful base thing, or even some kind of well, that's the problem. Should you be having third-party apps on whilst you're playing MCOC? Unfortunately, you might have to take them off because it may be the way that the game, this new ban system, or this new scanning system, targets those particular types of third-party apps. Either way, we have now come to, I wouldn't say an end point, but a little bit more clarity, because we got a little bit of clarity the other day from Kabam Crashed, but this gives somewhat of an extra bit of clarity. It's a something, but maybe nothing to some people. As I said the last time we had an update, which was Sunday, it was a something, but also a nothing at the same time. So Kabam have said, over the last few days, we have been investigating claims of false positives and have identified a group of players we believe were unjustly banned. Now that, again, is something and nothing, because there will be still people, I can imagine, off the back of this, that will be like, well, I'm still banned, or they'll still be banned, and they think they're innocent. Also, there'll be the people that should rightly be banned and are claiming innocence, and you won't ever be able to distinguish between the both of them. As a player myself, kind of just going, well, is this person right or is this person wrong? At the end of the day, you just have to gather as much information as possible before making any kind of well, opinion, but that's the problem that we had on Friday of last week. We were given information Kabam were doing something, and then you only kind of learn that people might be using a third-party software at the time, which is against the terms of service, but is technically not, but more than likely is. Look, it's really tough to kind of go like, what is actually going on? And it's all caused by Kabam, by the way. You know, don't get at me for it. It's Kabam. Kabam were the ones who did this. It's just how we interpret what is going on, because we're left in the dark. We're like mushrooms. In this group, there are probably some true positives, but to make sure innocent summoners aren't caught in the net, we're in the process of reversing these bans. So those specifically, not everybody. At this point, we don't know why the system didn't work for these accounts, or why none of these false positives showed up in our test data. That investigation will probably take at least a few weeks. So we're still a little bit away from actually finding out the truth. And that's the thing. What's the truth? Like, we just don't know. Mushrooms again. The accounts that received an unjust ban will receive a compensation package. So that's good. I'll talk about the implications of that in a minute. In the next few weeks, though, our priority right now will be to continue the investigation to make sure we haven't missed anybody. We sincerely apologise to the accounts affected, so there's an apology. We're in the middle of an Alliance War season. We're in the middle, or we're just about to do an AQ. We're in the middle of AQ raids and nightmare raids. To say this compensation package, depending on the level of the account of the people that have been affected, like what's going to be a compensation package that's going to be true to them? If we're talking about someone that had to be, and that's something, somebody has to be kicked from an alliance because they may have cheated, or it seems in this case may not have, depending on where that alliance is, they've lost out. They've lost out on, they've probably been kicked from the alliance, so the start point of the Battlegrounds season lost, the start point of Alliance War season lost, or just at the start of it lost, and also the Nightmare Raids, an AQ cycle that's just passed as well. This is a pretty big situation. Still is. There's still people that quite rightly should be banned. There's more than likely a segment of players that need to have their accounts restored back to them, and it's just not an ideal situation overall. And I know some people are still, they're still mad and will continue to be mad, and that's just going to be the thing, isn't it? Like, what is going on? We don't know. The communication, I don't know. I appreciate what Kabam are trying to do to stop people that are cheaters. I just think that maybe this was kind of like not the right time, and could have waited. And I'm sure people will say, well, yeah, we need to like get rid of the cheaters. No, I agree. Like, we can't go on with the Battlegrounds like leaderboard being the way it was or is, and should that have waited another season? Like, should we have had that more taken out at the end of an Alliance War season? Possibly. Should this have been dealt with at the end of Battleground season last season, which was last week during the off season, and in that off season period of Battleground, that off season of Alliance Wars? More than likely. Should this have been not happened on a Friday? Again, more than likely that would have been a better thing to do. I don't know. It's just communication around all this, and it's just disappointing, I think, at the end of the day with it. It needed to be done, but the level of the systems, just like Kabam being sure, double check, triple check, quadruple check, like before you did it, or maybe even have done like a small test of things, just to kind of test the waters. Sometimes systems are not great. They're really not, and it's sad. It is. It's kind of like it's quite sad to see. Yeah. Anyway, that's where I'm gonna like end it, and hopefully I'm not gonna say it's the end of the saga, the banwave saga, so to speak, because we've got still the few weeks to run before this. Like, we learn more about what's going on. Will all those accounts that Kabam believe are the false positives, the true positives account, like come back? Again, we don't know, because everybody's pleading innocent that's being banned. And yes, there are innocent people that have been banned. But that could mean that if Kabam get it wrong, cheaters will be able to come back into the game. So, as I keep saying, it's a something, but it's a nothing for this. Yeah, crazy situation. That's the update on it. And anyway, I'm going to move on later on when I finish work, because I'm recording to my lunch break, to do a Valiant difficulty walkthrough video. So I'm going to just move on with some other content. But yeah, not great. Not great.